All right. Welcome, Draftarig Season 5. It's your DLC of the Iron Serpent League, Gavega17, coach of the Utah Wees. Here with one of my lovely coaches that I represent with my Iron Serpent League. They represent the Ting Lu Fissurers, and this is Framos. Framos, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, hello. Yeah, as he said already, my name is Framos. You can say Framos. I really don't know. See what's best for you, the pronunciation. I really, I don't play Pokemon from a really long time. I actually only got into it like a few years ago. Was it because I really got into Pokemon because of VGC? I'm actually quite a VGC enthusiastic. But I actually got really hopped on draft recently, really like in years or more, like in 2 years I think. Because I just loved seeing like people build crazy strats, like using things I never saw before. Like I didn't even know like was a Beery barrier or those weird stuff. And also the one that gives priority after using Endure. Like I'm really like new when it comes like to I'm not the oldest veteran around. Like I don't play Pokemon for such a big long time, but I'm really invested into the thing. I basically pass my entire day just searching about things, stats, mons, trying to learn as much as I can about the game and just improve myself as a player.
Awesome, thank you. Uh, well, with you being new and this being um, a new endeavor for you. How do you feel about your team, and what is your experience with Draft League specifically?
Going to go first. My experience. I have a good amount of experience already. As I said, from playing like for like 2 years, I think. Firstly, it was actually really hard for me to get into draft. It was like loss after loss. I couldn't get the thing, but eventually, with time going, trying, retrying, I've actually started understanding how things were going and like learn which set you should use against certain mons. If you expect certain mon, you should bring a counter to it because like there are sometimes the other opponent they have a mon that's really good at getting to you if you use a specific 6 months, but like into the whole global aspect of your team, that mon just doesn't fit well against your team. So you also need to gamble a little bit of what he brings, what he doesn't bring, and I think that's a process of learning. I passed through a lot, but I think as right now I'm really situation. I think I'm in my peak. And about my team, I'm actually really proud of what I done. I think this is probably one of the best drafts I have ever done. This team is really fire. Dragapult is such an incredible mod. I'm really surprised with it. Like I really just would use it for 1 week and already felt it like it making everything just go crazy. Like it literally made Ubizing a much miser opponent, which is a great player. I know him for some time already. And he just brought like an extremely weird assault vest extra that didn't do anything against me just because he needed to counter the pole. I think it's actually crazy, and I'll actually talk about the big thing in my draft was like the Ting Lu Celesteela Primarina shenanigans. I decided to go into more a bulky side, like create a very good defensive core into my team, because there are like some crazy mons in this draft. Like there's like some S plus mons like Terrapago Stellar, which is a crazy mon. Solgaleo, Necrozma Wings. There's so many crazy monsters. Just having a reliable defensive core of mons is just incredible. It really helps a lot in team building and really makes it hard for the opponent. Like right now, I'm facing a team with a Pheromos and a Chanpao and a freaking Melmetal. Like those mons hit super hard. But, like I have the pieces to actually plan against those mons. And I actually, even though I went to a very defensive direction, I don't think the team actually lacks a lot of offense. Like I managed to get some really good pieces like Elisapod, Delphox was incredible, Terra Captain, Lycanroc just out of this world. It's such an incredible one, and just Kangaskhan doing Kangaskhan stuff. SD with Purple Punch and just go crazy. I love this team, and I really think we have a good chance of winning a lot
Yeah,
of matches.
yeah, I definitely agree. When I did my power rankings for your team, the only thing that I really docked it on was, the lack of hazard removal. But you have a Serena that can be pretty reliable with rapid spin. I would have just liked maybe to see one more option, but when I look at like the first impressions with Galiciopod causing like a lot of damage, the Electabuzz that you said is better than Zapdos, it's might be a hot take, but honestly, Electabuzz is one of those Pokemon that with an Eviolite, it's surprisingly bulky. You can run it a little versatile. You can get
Yeah.
static uh, paralysis, and it's faster than Zapdos, so you can pivot in and out. And like you said, I've used Dragapult myself. It just forces the opponent to bring, you know, niche prep to counter it because of its speed tiers, and they never know if it's going to be a support set with dual screens. I remember in Premier League I ran a dual screens one with Psychic Fangs that one-shot a Sneasler, and they were completely caught off guard, but then you could run, Dragon Dance with Dragon Darts or even a Choice Spec set, so you never know. So I really do think your team and the fact is great, and the fact that you have your mascot on there is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't want to go too deep into your matchup with TJ because he's in the chat currently listening in. But are there any other teams that you're like looking out for in this league based off of the week one replays, or just the way you see their teams on the dock that may intimidate you?
Mm. I think like actually every single team they're really close to each other. Like they're really toe to toe with each other. I think every single team is extremely good in this league. If we need to go like into specifics, maybe Gustav's because he has a really scary rain team. But like, if I have to be really honest, I think everyone's a threat, and like every single one can take a win from me, and can no, I can beat them. Uh, okay. So wait, just give me a second to get back to my thoughts. Okay, so I really think in this draft, one thing that I have really in my mind is that it will wins and losses will talk way more about the coach than the team itself, the team drafted. I think that they won't matter very much. Like in my week one, it actually mattered because I had a really good matchup against you, Beezing. But like looking at the general context, I think every single team, every single coach has a really good and strong team. So I think the wins, the losses, the matchups itself, it really doesn't matter. The thing that actually matters is the coach and what they're doing, their plays and their prep.
Yep, excellent. I feel the same way. I feel like most of the teams in this draft, even the one that I ranked the lowest, are incredibly scary. And the only reason I ranked them low, if you watched my video, which I don't know if you did, was just simply that
Yes, I did.
they didn't have the hazard removal at all on their team besides Hydreigon, and Hydreigon isn't really one that wants to bring the defog.
Yeah.
So, but then again, that team this week, they set up Dragon Dance with their Hydreigon, clicked Outrage, KO'd 5 Pokemon, and that was a wrap. So, it's like you said, anyone with good prep can take any game off anybody. I really think this is a league that's open for anybody.
Yeah. And
Um,
about the rapid spin thing, the not removing hazards, I'm a supporter of this. I believe in this place. I don't think hazard removing is actually extremely necessary. I think you can easily actually play it around. Because like as you said before, my team only has its Serena as a rapid spinner, which it is a really reliable rapid spinner. It's the only one, but I have actually some reasons why I really don't want to like getting more defoggers or rapid spinners because I really don't believe in hazards like that very much. I don't think they're actually such a game changer already. Like seen like great players like Pokegame just winning draft leagues with great players, and he just didn't run a single hazard removal.
yeah, he
So
just
and
ran
also my
heavy duty boots on multiple Pokemon if it was a big issue.
yeah. And also sometimes he didn't even bother. He didn't even bring a single heavy duty boots. He just went in and win. And also my team is actually not really weak to rocks and spikes. Like, if you take a look, I only have two mons that are actually weak to stealth rocks, which is Delphox, who can just tear out of his weakness, and Galissapod. So it actually really doesn't really scare me.
Um, have you watched any of the matches outside of the Iron Serpent League? And if so, has there been any coaches that have impressed you or storylines that you followed that you think is interesting? And if not, what made you want to join Draftarig and get involved in our server, considering we have 112 coaches that signed up this time around?
Yeah. Okay. So I actually, no, I just got in here. It's like this is my first draft in the server. I actually, I saw like one or three matches. I think it was like three matches. Yeah, I saw some matches from the Victory League. I saw some from the Flame, and majority of them was from, and the majority of matches I watched was from the RSP. Just learned how my opponents played. But like, I really don't know the other players too. It's I would learn them with time. But the reason I actually got in here was because like I was looking for more drafts to play because the ones that I were playing before they were like all just not having a draft or like nothing was really happening. And a friend of mine, Ubizing, which is also playing the Iron Serpent, he said to me, "Hey, there's this really cool draft league that's happening on the server. If you wanna join, it looks really fun." I was like, "Okay, I'll take a look," and actually, it impressed me with the structure of the server. This interview thing, it looks like so professional. It looks so real. Like it actually feels like I'm like in a professional draft league, which playing with extremely talented players like from out of this world. They actually are really great players. But, like they're like Poké MMT. Like it actually feels special and makes me feel like I'm one of them. You know?
Yeah, that's kind of our goal. We've been slowly increasing, our production quality, the way the server's being run. Prior to this season, we were known as Spear Pillar. This is actually a rebrand. It's our first season as Draftarig. And so we've really, with the rebrand, taken a step up and tried to make it a little bit more special for Season 5. So I'm glad that you mentioned that and that you said you feel like, we took the time and care to make all the coaches feel appreciated. I guess my next question would be, most of the leagues here, they did a slow draft, which is generally the draft league standard because it's hard with time zones and everything to get a
Yeah.
bunch of people together. We were the fortunate league where I kept, us motivated and constant reminders so that we could do a live draft. So I just want to hear your thoughts on if that was a fun experience or if you would prefer to do a slow draft in the future or kind of what challenges a live draft presented to you, considering that we were one of the few leagues that got to have the opportunity to, actually take place and do ours all in a 2 to 3 hour span on YouTube and Twitch.
Yes, yes. So if I have to be really honest, I love the live draft model. I like always played with the slow draft model, which like big like after like 3 hours or so. And I think like live draft's just way cooler because like it feels so alive. Like you aren't just playing like it the I can't even explain the feeling of playing a live draft. It feels more real. Like it's actually a really fun experience, just like seeing people building their teams in front of you. You also can interact with other people, like reacting to other people's picks. And I actually really prefer the live draft picks, and it was like a great experience. I didn't struggle really much because like I did a small list of mons that I wanted, and I managed to get every single one of them. I think I only got sniped once when it was a comfy, which I actually got really upset. But it happens. But it was extremely fun, like seeing people draft their mons around, like seeing like crazy picks from side, like the Laurentis getting second pick, and everyone just going, "Whoa, what is this?" Um, was really cool. People reacting to other people's team. I think it's such a great experience and make the draft feel more alive.
Yeah, I agree. I've only taken place of like one or two live drafts where I was the coach, so being able to host it honestly was a good experience for myself just because I had no idea what most of the teams were going to be doing with their picks. Some people sent me their draft plans, but I tried to keep it, you know, on the DL because I didn't want to, snipe anybody or like, cause any contention. So I played neutral, and it was really fun. Like I remember when Laurentis got picked, I was like, whoa, shocked. But then just to see how the team rounded out and that they got their S tier at the very end, they made up for it, even though they may have just taken like a passion pick like super duper early, and they ended up
Yeah,
with a super solid team anyway.
yeah.
Um,
Also, also live draft was like in the start it was really chill, but one thing that I didn't mention was like in the end, like going to the follow-up part, like in the real end, I actually struggled a lot finishing the team. So like last 3 months, like you see, like the Glisopod, the Mienfu, and the Electabuzz. I actually struggled a lot. I was going crazy. My head was spinning because I didn't know what to pick because I did some miscalking and forgot to pick my S tier. My S tier, not my F tier. It's like I was just scrambling about which one I would pick, and I think it also gives a lot of emotion to the draft.
Yeah, I agree. Who do you think the biggest steal of your draft was, with it being, live and you had to pick things kind of on the fly? For me personally, I think that watching your team go, getting the Terra Fairy Delphox, was an excellent late round pick, but also the power of Lycanroc Dusk being able to click Tough Claws boosted Terra Rock Cell Rocks. With the way our format is, where C tiers are lower, can Terra into their stabs for free, also is a super solid choice. I've gotten swept by a Lycanroc that did that exact strategy to me, and it didn't feel good. So, who do you think personally was your like sleeper pick on your team?
My sleeper pick, okay. I think I really don't know because every single one in this draft, like that I drafted, I really love them. Every single one of them, like except for like Delphox was a mon that I was aiming to use like already for a long time. I actually picked in another draft, but I had like a limit of Terra captains, and I had like a Jodion as well in the team. So like I was like, I can't use a Delphox as my Terra captain when I have a Jodion. So like it only I wanted to use a Delphox, but I couldn't. I saw the opportunity. I didn't have a fire type, so I was like, hey, gotta get this one. And I was like, rock. Oh my god, I have no idea for of two things. Of two things. Why? How could I get this thing like as my seventh pick? Like why no one picked that? And why is it a D tier? I really think that mon can be really easily a C tier. I think it's probably my biggest sleeper pick because you can actually like know like oh it's Electabuzz, it's limited. If you knock it off, it's a Viola. It isn't really that big of a threat. You know, Delphox is just a special attacker. But like really like Lycanroc, I think it was a Smon that was slapped on not because I think it's slapped on Mon not specifically because like people won't prepare to it, but like people really just didn't care for such a great mod because like leaving it for like seventh pick, I thought it was crazy. Like when I saw Lycanroc still available, I was like, whoa, this is the greatest pick of all time. And it's just pulling up the work like it just won me the first week, and I think we'll keep on with doing that maybe for the follow-up weeks.
Yeah, it's definitely a great pick, and I'm excited to see how this league turns up. Um, do you foresee like any like members on your team? I know you say that you love this team, you think everyone's gonna like be really well rounded, you really thought it through. But if you see any like issues with your team, you start losing matches. Is there any like free agents that may bring a locker room spark that you saw that weren't drafted? And if not, why do you think that your team just is so cohesive and so great? Because like even your Mienfu pick, even though it was an off-sheet pick and some people might sleep at it, it's pretty good for being a not fully evolved Pokemon. So like even if you had to swap it out because it's just in an Uber's base league not performing, I still can see it having a role where it does really well with just the excellent coverage it has.
Yes, okay, so I haven't really like seen which mons are still available, like what are like some crazy mons that hasn't been picked. Like the only one that I actually noticed was like Urshifu Water, but that one's definitely not going to the team, especially because I have a Dragapult and like the Ting Lu is the mascot, a mon that I love. So they aren't going out. But I really haven't been looking into the team. I think like I'm going with my team. I trust my team. If things start going wrong, I might do a change or two. If I have to change, I'll probably look into like the real last picks for like the Calistopod, the Electabuzz, and the Mienfu. Not specifically because they're no, it's because they're bad. Like they're technically worse mons, and as I said before, they were kind of some a little bit rush picks. So like if I had to swap someone, would be one of those three. But I don't believe I will be swapping them really soon.
Yeah, and you mentioned you love Ting Lu. It's obviously the name of your team. Do you think that Ting Lu's the like team leader and MVP of your team, or do you see another Pokemon like Dragapult kind of being like the staple of your team?
Okay. I don't think Ting Lu will like lead the team. I think will be like a key piece into the team's success. I think probably another mod will like take the spotlight because like if FSU Seed, I got a lot of hate when I drafted Ting Lu and Celesteela. Like people really don't like seeing like stally mons, like more defensive mons. So like when you have like this very offensive mon that can do a lot of pressure, like especially more specifically talking about like Lycanroc and Dragapult, like those mons tend to shine more. But I will try to do some fun stuff with the Tinglu. It will definitely be a very important piece. Like in week one, like Bizin, he had a Nihiligo that got me really scared into that matchup, and he simply didn't brought it to the match because I had the Tinglu. So like the Tinglu actually helped me a lot in week one just by existing, even though it wasn't even good in the matchup. So it would be a essential piece into my team going to the rest of this draft.
Um, what was kind of your game plan going into a week one? You mentioned that you played against, your friend. It was probably a hype match for both of you. Kind of what was the game plan you thought going into the match?
So the game plan actually need to reopen my team real quick to kind of give a refresh because like I'm already building to the next match. So like past is past, present is present. But like when I was building the team, I was first thought, okay, what is really good defensively against my opponent's teams? Like I saw that he had some really. He has the Flutter Mane. The Flutter Mane is extremely aggressive against me. So what do I have against the Flutter Mane? I didn't have anything. So like okay, the Mug can't counter the Flutter Mane, so I'm bringing the Mug, and the Mug basically countered everything. So like okay, we're fine with the Mug, and looking to counter the more physical mons. Okay, Celesteela was pretty much everything. And I was actually looking through my list, like into the mons I could bring the week, and like there wasn't really options. So like I saw Electabuzz moment because I thought that Mienshao would be he will probably bring Mienshao because it looked really good against me with a scarf set. So like I thought, okay, that's time to bring Electabuzz, get some shine, get some static, create some momentum with Volt Switch. Actually, the Electabuzz set was actually really good, even though it didn't manage to appear. It was like such a good set in the final moments of the match when like we had I don't know if you remember, there was like a moment with my Lycanroc against its Rotom hit, and like my Lycanroc killed it with Accelerock. So according to you, Bizin, that was a roll to kill. But even though if that happened, Electabuzz could just easily wall both Slowking and Baxcalibur, just looked incredible. I was thinking of it like more like sleeper pick because like nothing really seemed to fit. And I was like, okay, Electabuzz, really good mon, and I was trying actually to surprise him because I had a hammer on this Electabuzz. So like if he tries to go into an extra duel predicting like a Volt Switch, I could maybe get a kill with it using a hammer or getting a prize kill, which was really good in my eyes because it could really stop the Dragapult. And the rest of the team, I really just put in mons that I thought would look good. Like I saw the Dragapult, special set I saw because I saw okay, I have bringing the Mach, I'm bringing the Electabuzz. I have a lot of status conditions like the Electabuzz can spread static, the Mach can spread poison touch. Like okay, I'm bringing the Dragapult. I'm bringing what? I'm bringing a Hex set. So I brought like a Hex set with spell tech to just get idealize those status pass, even though none of us actually passed through the game, but that's a detail. So and Lycanroc just looking great in the game, and Kangaskhan also with the body slam paralysis. So I think the team has actually a lot of synergy. I was building like to more, okay, what has against me, what I have against him, and just went with it and trying to get some surprise things and a good synergy within my team.
Sweet. I typed in the chat just to see if any of the other people listening in had any questions, and one of our DLC or a couple of our DLCs, Gabo and Flagon, have a couple questions. So first, I'll do Flagon's question. What do you think a successful season for you looks like, and what's your goal?
Mm. Okay, so I think like uh, what I mentioned by successful season, like if I think it will look good as it will be a successful season. I think like this season is looking really prospect. I am right now into like getting probably fifth in the league, like qualifying to playoffs, but like not getting super high. Like I have like really no my feet on the ground, but also I'm aiming to win. I want to win because I really believe in this team and I believe in myself that everything will work out.
Awesome. And then Gabbo's question is, how can someone get as based as you? You said earlier that hazards are overrated and a little bit bad, and that Electabuzz is better than Zapdos, and that he loves the confidence that you express. So just how does someone get, as much confidence as you do, and how do you feel about him calling you based?
I think it's good, like at least from from my perspective, and it's good to hear like people actually really value my confidence. It's just I really trust in myself, the things I do. Like in my opinion, if you don't believe in the things that you do, you'll never succeed in anything because you have to trust in yourself. If you always go into situations, you're nervous, you don't believe in yourself, everything just go wrong. So like, okay, I'm always believing in myself. I know my capacity. I know what I can do, and I'm just aiming to get the best of myself and just trusting myself. And I think that's the thing about everything, because in general, life is pretty much like a psychological battle. Because it doesn't matter if like the best of all time and just don't trust yourself. And about the I read the next question is also about the Electabuzz better than Zapdos and saying that's unbelievably wrong. But like the thing about Electabuzz better than Zapdos, I actually a little bit overextended.
No, no, no. We're gonna put our feet to the floor. It's gonna perform better.
Okay, so like I was actually picking the Mons. I was like, okay, I need a fast electric type. I got the Golisopod, got the Mons. I just need a really fast electric type, and I was like, oh god, I need to pick an F tier. So I just scrambling through the electric types. It's like, okay, Electabuzz, a fast volt switch, and can pivot. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna get him. But like, it got the moment where I needed to talk about Electabuzz, and I was like, what do I say about Electabuzz? I was like thinking, okay, Electabuzz, it's fast, got Volt Switch, it can take some hits, and has static and can, spread a lot of paralysis. I was thinking like, wait, it isn't just Zapdos. And I was like, this is the heat, this is the heat. And I was just saying like, it's better than Zapdos because it's Zapdos, but because it's my mon, it's the better one.
Precisely. It's who has it was what makes the mon have its potential. Um, I don't want to like entertain this one too much because I know that Mr. Flygon over here is just being a hater, but I'm a fan of Ting Lu myself. I drafted it before. So he wants to know what of its features of Ting Lu is gross, since it's the most gross Pokemon, one of the most gross Pokemon in his opinions. You're a fan, I'm a fan. Tell him why Ting Lu's awesome.
Ting Lu, it doesn't appear awesome as your first look. If you go into like a really bland, like a black and white perspective of Ting Lu, if you go, oh my god, this is just such a bad Pokemon, just so annoying. It's Toxapex 2.0. But if you actually dive deep into Ting Lu, you understand it. You see its offensive potential. Like Ting Lu isn't just a defensive mod. It's a defensive mod that actually can transform into offense. It can cycle through hazards to make your opponent weaker. And actually, 110 base attack is actually really high. And if he think that Ting Lu is gross, I will prove it to him as well if he needs to. I can also prove the contrary and also why. It's gross. I have some really nasty techniques going with this Ting Lu. It's probably like the mod that will get the most set variety in my team. But you guys will see it. You guys will see it.
Gabo would like to know if you're currently still active in VGC for this season and if you've played in any regionals recently.
So yes, I'm still active in VGC. Actually, the most I have ever been. I actually don't really have the time to just go into the regionals. I don't, have the time and the money to just go into place and play. I really hope one day, like, happens a regional next to home and just go in there and play a little bit. But I really, really love VGC. It's like the thing that got me into Pokemon.
Awesome. Well, it's been a great interview. You were very active in the draft chat, and you're very great to talk to here. Had a lot of confidence. Do you have any final words you'd like to say to your fans before we wrap this up?
Okay. So as I said before, trust myself. I think I would perform well. Well, I don't get what everyone does and say bad things about Ting Lu and open team shits. I really, really don't care. We're just aiming to win. And also one thing, prepare for the fissure.
Oh yeah, prepare for the fissure. We allowed it, and it's got to come at least once, and it's going to hit. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
actually one thing I didn't tell anyone still was that actually my first one of my in VGC, the reason that I got Ting Lu Fissures, like the thing that actually got me in love with Ting Lu was when I was playing a Rec C tournament. I just went in, like I think it was Limitless. Yeah, it was a tournament in Limitless. I brought the Ting Lu Fissure, and it just fissured all the way into the finals. I was like, oh, this is the mon. And it was there from the start of my love from Ting Lu. So yes, expect the fissure. It will
expect the
be coming and
fissure.
we will hit. It will hit. It's not 30%, it's 100%. Be aware.
All right. Well, you were an excellent interview. We're gonna wrap it up, and then sometime tonight, this will be posted for you to hear on YouTube to share with your friends. So thank you for coming in, and we hope to catch you in maybe a future interview for when we are in the playoffs.
Okay, thanks very much. It was really, really cool just talking here and just answer the questions. It was really
Awesome.
fun.
Yeah, it was really fun for me too. All right, everyone. Thanks for showing up, and I hope you all have a great day.
Goodbye, everyone.